All right, this is going to be our value lesson. This is my demo from class. So what you're going to create is a value scale where each square is different, a graduating value scale, so you really practice that blending so you don't see any, you see the delineations where the value changes. This one you want really smooth. And you're gonna take what you learned here and apply it to turning your shapes into spheres. So this is a circle until you apply the value and create a sphere. This is, a triangle until you make it look like a cone, make it look three-dimensional. So our whole point is making these shapes look like forms. So the shape is two-dimensional. The shaded form is a form. Not a form in real life, but it's the illusion of a form because we are still in the illusion of depth module. So let me show you really quick how to do this. Again, there is a copy of this with the paperwork in the classroom. So if you want to take a picture of it, if you want your own copy, let me know. I have that for you. So how I do the value scales is I just put my ruler down and I'm basically just tracing on either side. You don't even need to measure. And then I just trace the other side like this. And I think the rulers, because I'm doing this at home, so I think the rulers at school are a little skinnier. So you'll be able to get, it should be 8 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, see, I couldn't even get my 8th one because it's so small or so big. So then my second one, I'm just tracing the ruler. That's going to be my gradual. And then down here, you should have enough space to do your shape. So I have these compasses in the classroom. They're safety compasses. They're really easy to use. So you basically just, if you want a small circle, you hold the orange part and then take the white part and make a little circle. Or you hold the white part and there's a whole bunch of holes going down either side. And there's measurements. If you need to be a certain measurement, then it can be. This really baffles kids. So if you want, without lifting it up, so hold this, put your pencil in the hole, and it's got to be like sharpened. If it's too dull, it won't go through. So make sure it's sharpened. Pick a hole and go under your left arm, bring it around, go under your right, and then you can get one without having to pick it back up and find your hole again. So I'm gonna make a small hole. I think I'll probably use this part. And you're gonna do 2 for each one. Oh, that's kind of little. And then I'll do my cylinders. So cylinders are, well, I'll save cylinders, okay. Let me do my triangle. So if you can't really draw a very straight line, use that little edge of the thing. And then instead of drawing a straight line here to make it a triangle, I'm just going to curve it because this is a cone. Like think of like a construction cone, it's round at the bottom, right? It's not straight at the bottom. Make that long enough. And again, not straight across, it is rounded. And if you're not sure, take any sort of, like this jar here that I have for my water when I was doing my painting video. If you hold a pencil up to it, you can see that it's not, straight across, it's rounded. And then I'm gonna do my cylinder. So a cylinder starts with an ellipse. Ellipse, I think is how you spell it, if you wanna look that word up. So an ellipse, it's kind of like an oval, but it's a little different in that this widest part is in the middle. So I sketch it lightly first until I get it exactly the way that I want it. And it's basically, so when you look at a jar or something that's round from the top, it looks perfectly round, right? As you start to tilt it away from you, and I definitely don't want to tilt this water out, you'll see that this shape here at the top starts to change into this elliptical kind of a shape. I have a little stencil at school also that has these shapes, but most people when they go to draw something like that, they'll draw this because their brain knows that the jar is round and it will draw a circle and then bring that down. Well, that's not actually what it looks like in perspective, right? This shape right here is not a circle, it's an ellipse. And the beauty of me being on camera is that it's making something two-dimensional, which is actually three-dimensional. So anything that's round, this is a little camera loop that I have so you can see things close up. So this is round, right? As I turn it to the side, you can see it turns into this ellipse until it turns into almost completely straight. And then it starts to become kind of rounded at the top. So if you want to learn how to draw an ellipse, you can go look that up if this doesn't make sense to you, but this is not correct. So I'm gonna draw, oh, sorry. So draw your ellipse and then bring your sides down. Again, you can use any sort of straight edge that you have if you're not good at drawing straight lines. And then your bottom is almost like the bottom of your cone, right? It's rounded at the bottom. And it should also be parallel to this, right? Because in real life, that is parallel. If you look at any sort of soup can or whatever, I should have done that with a soup can, but I didn't. Okay. So one's gonna be my practice and one's gonna be I'm killing it. We are going to do perspective drawing, but for just your shading purposes, you can just do your box. In fact, we should be doing perspective before you do this. So if you want to draw in perspective, you can. If not, just kind of draw a cube. Just making sure that the top and bottom lines are parallel. Everything's parallel. And then I just kind of erase the excess. So let me do that again. This in real life should be a 90-degree angle, so I'm trying to get as close to that as possible with my drawing. So I'm gonna start with the vertical line. Again, I'm just kind of like sketching this. I'm trying to make these two lines parallel and these two lines parallel. And then my tops are parallel. Oops, I forgot my sides. Again, if that's really confusing, just use your 1-point perspective to draw your cubes. So when you go to shade, the main thing you want to do is, I'm going to use this because this one I kind of already started. I'm not really feeling like it's finished. So you want to have at least 4 values on your form, okay? So this one could use a little bit more darkening. Also, let me add, this is great to use a wooden pencil for shading. Mechanical pencils, the lead is not as thick, so you end up, you can see all your little streaky lines, so that when the lead is a little fatter. And this one, the other thing is when you're shading, you don't want to turn the pencil in your hand. Once you start, keep it on that. I'll even like go off to the side and kind of get my lead going. Because what happens is it wears down this one edge and it makes it super easy to make a broad mark rather than, watch me when I turn it, make something sharp. I want that broad mark because I don't want to see pencil marks. I want to see the actual shading, okay? So I'm gonna do, I don't want this video to be too long, but you know what? Let me do, okay, that was how to start it. Let me do like actually shading. I'll make another video so it's not too long.